This next piece we're going to do, it's probably going to make some of you uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway. So like true high performer, like I'm all about data, so I went out and I hired this holistic biohacking coach and just learned so much about how the body works. So we got these test results back. I did like 10 different tests, like blood work and just some other crazy stuff that you guys would think I'm beyond nuts that I did. And so this one came back, and I was going through it with my coach, and he's like, you can see the low range. So this is any test, like there's a low range and a high range, and you don't want to be, you want to be in the middle of those. So it doesn't really matter what it is. It's just not good if you're low or if you're high. So this was cortisol, which I guess is on the right, which is, I guess it's the hormone that's released when you're stressed. So, yeah, so the dial's, right, like 100 to 225, and I'm 508. And it's a measure, so it's a urine test 5 times during the day, and it just measures your level of cortisol. And there's a bunch of bad things that can happen if it's sustained for a long period of time. So 508 compared to 225 is not good. And I was like, no, well, 100 to 225 is the range, and I'm 508. So, and that's just a 24-hour measure of the levels of cortisol in my body. And so it's just not good. So it could lead to diabetes. It could lead to just excess fat, just bad stuff over time. So if you haven't had a test like this, I highly recommend it. You can send away for it. I forget the company that does it, but it's not, you don't need to go to a doctor to do it, and it's not an expensive test. And I also learned that for a lot of these tests, you don't necessarily, for some of them you need a doctor to prescribe a test and to get the kit. But some of these kits, you just go online, you order the kit, and then you go to, they have, like there's Any Test Now, which is in the market here, and you just go with a box, and you're like, I just want this test done. And like you could be your own doctor, basically, which is really, really cool. So I got this back, and this is not a take a pill to make it go away. I'm not a take a pill kind of guy anyway. This is just the process of clearing your mind. And so I would venture to guess. So I definitely work a 40-hour work week. So I work truly one day a week in my real estate company, but I'm thinking business all the time. I do, some of my Fridays are lighter. I try to have a little personal time on Fridays, but I think my mind, it's just spinning all the time on business. So I really consciously have to just get out of that mode. And it's obviously showing up, and this is not going to be good for me over time. So just what I've learned about meditation and just clearing your mind and the positive effects of doing that, as hard chargers, it's just not in our natural state to do any of this. And just like all of these like major business leaders that meditate as a daily practice, and this is a little different than like if you're a believer and you're praying, this is different than that. So you should still do that time. So this is potentially another thing for you to do. But if you have levels like I have levels, which I suspect there are some people in this room that would show up like that, you just don't know it.